Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 52. 52! Bro, 52 episodes of me just talking my shit and just doing my thing, right? And today, man, I was looking at my calendar this morning and I realized it was the 19th. And was it 6 years ago? 7 years ago? 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I graduated from the University of Hawaii with a bachelor's degree in psychology. Um, and it took me 6 years after university to get it. So I started at 21, graduated at 27. Um, yeah. And throughout that journey, man, is there's a lot of ups and downs, bro. A lot of ups and downs. Some situations I totally could have controlled. Others I couldn't control. Yeah. I was never really the greatest student. Believe it or not. I was smart. I would just procrastinate. I just, grades to me wasn't really a thing. 'Cause- and then on top of that, losing my dad too, so that was heavy. During that time frame. But the one thing about it, man, is like a lot of people didn't fucking believe in me, bro. A lot of people just told me I wasn't gonna make it. I was wasting my time. This and that, like this and this and that. A lot of people had negative shit to say, man, and it's like, and like when I did it, they were like, "Whoa." And then on top of that, when I moved out of state and did everything myself, bought a car, was looking for apartments, did everything myself, and it's like everybody's like, "Yo," like, "Whoa," like everybody was looking at me like I hate to use the disability card, but they were looking at the disability before they looked at me. Yeah, and I just thought that was important, man, because it's like every year around this time, and I don't mean on the 19th, but I reflect on the year because it's Christmas in the next week, and then after that it's New Year's, and I'm gonna touch on something I said last week, man. If you have the ability to fix a situation that's fixable, fix it, man. Don't let your pride get in the way. Don't let your anger issues, your bitterness, or what she did or what he did or what they both didn't do. It's like at the end of the day, man. If you value somebody the way I value certain people, um, go fix it. Like, be that dude who's mad enough. Be like, look, or be that person. When I say dude, I mean it's gender neutral. Be that person who's like, look, what we did or what we didn't do, that's 100% on us. But what we can do, we can fix this. Um, because a lot of the times, man, the people that you need in your life, regardless of how you feel about the situation, or whatever it is like they make it better. They make you want to be better to an extent, and it's like there's very few people out there who want to do that, like or like who want to see you succeed just to see you succeed. Um, yeah, man. And also too, I've been working on some music. Just trying to grind out this album, just trying to make sure everything that I'm doing, album wise, is up to par. I had a really good friend of mine tell me like, "Hey man, like make sure that sound quality is up to par." And I'm like, "Bro, don't talk to me like I'm a neophyte. Don't talk to me like I'm a beginner. I know what I'm doing." It's like, yeah, cause all my old projects they was always missing that professional finish, and so I'm aiming for Valentine's Day of next year to release the album on all platforms. So we'll see. I'm still waiting on some stuff to come through. So whatever happens with that happens. But so far, that's the deadline. The deadline is Valentine's Day 2022. Um, and yeah, man. This upcoming album is called Life Album, and it's a mixture of a whole different thing. I had released a track list. It's like 13 tracks, and some of the songs are done, they're finished. Other songs I still have to work on them. I still have to fine tune them. But so far, the album's coming along great, man. I gotta write to certain songs. I gotta finish that up. And then we just gonna keep it moving, man. Um, on the way home yesterday, I was listening to Jack Quee's Christmas in Decatur album, and it's actually really, really good, man. If you guys have the ability, or not the ability, but the time or the energy to check it out, man, on any, I'm assuming it's on all platforms, but if you have Apple Music, just type in his name and it's gonna pop up. And I really like his music, man. I'm not gonna lie. Making that third Instagram page, where it just depicts my music has helped me in so many different ways. I've got into contact with certain people who are better at producing than I am at this point. Um, a lot of my friends who produce music, like I've networked with them, networked with other people, so we just gonna keep it moving, man. And yeah, and I think it's imperative that you follow your passions, man. Like everybody has an idea or a goal of what they want you to do or what they think you're capable of, and a lot of the times, man, they trying to stick you in that fucking box. They trying to stick you in the sandbox until you don't play. Like um I was telling somebody who I value very dearly to me. I said, "Yo, it's like we're the two pieces of the puzzle, the jigsaw puzzle that don't match with nobody else but us." Which means is that that was my way of telling them, like, "Yo, other people may not get us, but we get each other." And yeah, man, and it just goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you have an opportunity to fix something, and it's worth fixing, because most situations, like I said the other, I wrote a quote the other day, and it said most situations are repairable, almost repairable, but the other person has to get into the ring and fight with you. What I mean is, like, they gotta want the same thing you want, and the older I get, man, you just gotta you literally have to take time, and you have to appreciate what you have in front of you. A gym owner, the gym that I train at, it's a private gym, and his birthday was, what was his birthday? His birthday was, I believe it was Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday. And he turned 53, and I'm 33. He's 20 years older than me, and he was talking about, like, yeah, how he tries to appreciate every single day, because he goes, bro, time doesn't stop. It just keeps going and going and going. And he's like, but if you can take time to appreciate the small moments, you know, and like see and like just take time at that. And me being 33, I started doing that in my 20s, and like I just tried to take in every single moment as if it was my last moment, you know. And I think that you know, had a lot to do with with losing my dad. I lost my dad at 23. Literally a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 days before my birthday, and I kind of it rocked me. We didn't have the best relationship, father and son. I mean, it's like, yeah, yeah, the nigga loved me. He fed me, put clothes on my back, shoes on my feet. He's the reason why when I step at the crib, my mom was looking fly, because he used to always tell me growing up, he's like, bro, he's like, people will look at how you dressed. So it's like, he's like, I ain't saying that you gotta break the bank, but at least look good when you leave the crib, 100%. And yeah, I thought that we would always have time to have that one important conversation, and we never did. And it's coming up on a decade next year, and that's all I think about, man. It's like I think about like, yo, if I would have came home from work on time that night, we would have had that conversation. Or if I would have came home from work, you know, and at the time that I did, and like, yo, like let's talk because like literally like 2 days later, he died, and it's like that sticks with me, that sticks with me because it's like, excuse me, that sticks with me because you don't expect it to happen. Happen as fast as it did, and when it did, I didn't know how to deal with it. Uh, I still don't, and excuse me, and that's why with me, I think it's important to just fix situations because you don't want the last conversation to be, uh, you don't want the last conversation to be something like, oh, I wish I would have said this, I wish I would have said that. It's like, yo, uh, it's 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 a very it's a very difficult topic, as you guys can see. Like you guys can see the emotion on my face about it, and and I'm a firm believer, man. Just don't leave anything unsaid. You know, don't leave anything unsaid. Like, like if you're angry at somebody, like apologize. Because a lot of the times, bro, the shit that we argue about, whether it's with our best friends, whether it's with our girlfriends, our wives, our husbands, whatever, it's so fucking trivial, you know. And it's like it really doesn't need to be happening that way, but it does. And at the end of the day, man, I just think that saying what you feel is so important. Uh, and saying, and how you say it too is important as well. And that's why it's like where certain people like, yo, like I'm never gonna quit on you. You know, I'm never gonna just leave you just because it's like, yeah, I may be angry. Yeah, I may be upset. Yeah, I may be disappointed, and yeah, I may block you for a few days or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, man, it's like you got to realize that sometimes in the heat of the moment, that reaction that you have is not the right reaction to the situation. And I just think that once you realize that, and even if you already done it, whether you block this person or unblock them or unfollow them or whatever it is, it's like, on social media, it's not that big of a deal, bro. Because at the end of the day, a lot of your friendships or relationships run deeper than social media. A lot of your relationships run deeper than what the fuck you see on a podcast or whatever it is, man. And I think a lot of people put so much stock into this, and I'm like, nah. It's like, what about the realness, the rawness, and everything in general? You just have to be real with yourself, and you have to be able to understand that a lot of the times, man, it's like it has nothing to do with you per se. It's more about the situation in general, and as long as you figure that out, bro, you're gonna be alright, you know. And there's a reason why that I named this track Life. Um, as you guys know, I've been doing music since I was like in like what high school, exiting high school, being beginning college. Actually, no. Check that out. I used to rap, in high school. We used to have battle raps and shit, right? And I was a young buck, so I would just listen to the dudes just doing the thing, and it's like we had partners at my school, like they were human beatboxers, right? So like niggas be laying it down, and it's like, and I got to college, and I got exposed to different people from different countries and different states, and like, oh, snap, like this is what y'all listen to, and back then, man, it's like I didn't have much money, like y'all see this, like y'all see the setup behind me, man. It's like I was a broke college kid, I didn't I didn't have much money, but it's like I remember my very first record that I cut. It was a Dr. Dre instrumental, and I had studio. I didn't have studio speakers. I had computer speakers, so I turned them shits all the way up, and I had a I had a digital recorder. I gotta go find that recorder. I had a digital recorder, and I recorded the I recorded me rapping on it, and it was the most realest, rawest thing I ever done. Cause it's like I could hear myself flipping through the pages, rhyme after rhyme, time after time. One time for your mind. It's like that's the shit that I wrote down. You know, you know. Let me take you through a stroll through time. It's like, I was doing that shit at 18 years old. It's like, and then I got linked up with a couple dudes. We was in a music club doing the whole thing, and it's like I literally loved it. And it's like, and I never really stopped making music. I just kind of just stopped. I just stopped doing what I was doing because life in general was catching up. I was like, you know, I was working. I'm working full time. Graduated college, trying to look for a job, trying to make some real money, and it's like, uh, just recently I figured like, yo, like if you want to get back to the music thing, let's do it. But we're gonna do it 100% correct. And at the end of the day, man, it's like music has always been in my blood. It's like my homegirl, like she's been to my house, you know, a few times, and like I remember she asked me like, "Yo, it's like where do you get your where do you get your influence from?" It's like I grew up around this shit. I grew up around like pops was always playing jazz records, moms was always playing Beatles. Every time during the holidays, like mom was always playing Christmas music. She was playing different artists too, and it's like I just expanded on that because it's like it's like I was always around it, and it's like I had a lot of my parents had older had friends who had older kids, and so I was always surrounded by different tastes of music, different genres, different eras. I was the infusions, all that shit. So it's like when I sit down, in my little studio, and I make beats, or I try to find new sounds. I try to imagine, what it would sound like in my head first, because it's like there are days I'll be at work, I'll be like I'll be doing this in my head. And like I'll be bobbing in the music in my head, like nigga, I don't have headphones on or anything. And I was like, and people look at me like, man, you okay? Like I'm straight, bro. Like, but in my head is like I'm making the beat. Like I'm like my mind's already working. So when I get back to the crib, I can bang this shit out. And at the end of the day, man, it's imperative that you follow your passions. It's imperative that you do what makes you happy, and it's imperative that you repair things that you repair things, and with people who are important to you, man. Look, Christmas is next week. After that is New Year's. Yo, if you got somebody to say to if you got something to say to somebody who's important in your life, do it. There's so many different ways to get in contact with people these days, man. It's like, yeah. So just put your pride to the side and just realize that what's important to you. So anyway, man, this is 20 minutes of your life that y'all ain't gonna get back. I appreciate y'all. Oh, and by the way, my gym homie, I appreciate you for watching the podcast, dog. It's like, and I, to be honest with you, Not that I don't like people. I'm just selectively social. So that's what that is, bro. But I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you for for popping in and checking it out, man. It's like, yo, appreciate the feedback. But anyway, like I said, this is 20 minutes of your life that you won't get back. Hope y'all keep it in a full peace, private, player, positive pushing. See y'all next week. Dose.